Thank you so much, Smart, for that update. But I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Barcelona fan, and we always defeat you guys. Anyway, thank you for staying with us. You are watching PM Lab broadcasting live from the Kenyatta International Conference Center. I'm Liz Ntunjira. Now, if you just joined us, we had a successful conclusion of the first segment of the show, and we did speak about the impact of the fuel crisis to the economy and what needs to be done. We did speak about this with the CEO of KEPS, Caroline Kariuki, who did give us an insight of what the private sector and also what the public sector needs to do. We also did speak about recognizing entrepreneurs with Hannah Njoroge from Ernst & Young, and they did launch an award for recognizing the entrepreneur of the year. Now, just before we went to the 1 o'clock news, we were talking about the booming construction industry in Mombasa, and with me we have Mr. Thuranira from the CEO of MySpace Properties, who was telling us how the situation is looking in Mombasa, and he was telling us about the 5th edition of the Homes Expo. Tell us more about the 5th edition of the Homes Expo.
Yes, now Liz, the Bamburi Special Products 5th Mombasa Homes Expo is slated to this weekend at Salova White Sands from Friday to Sunday, and it will be officiated by Honorable Minister Shoita Standa. Also, Honorable Bishop Margaret Wajiro will officiate it, and PS of Housing. They'll all be there, and it's the 5th edition. Mombasa has seen tremendous growth since the inception of the first expo 3 years ago, and it has awakened the giants in Mombasa. The real estate was not known much in Mombasa, but due to the efforts of the expo, due to the effort of the Unique Homes magazine, due to the efforts of MySpace Properties, among other stakeholders in the industry, we have seen tremendous growth. Also, the media has played a big part in exposing the Mombasa market, which nobody was talking about it before. But right now, almost everybody knows about Mombasa, and everybody is excited investing in the Mombasa region.
All right, this is the 5th edition of the Homes Expo. How is the growth as you have seen it from the first expo that you had?
Yes. The first expo, we had like 35 exhibitors. The second expo, we had like 40 exhibitors. The fourth one, we had like 50. And this one, we have a whopping 75 exhibitors.
Wow, that's quite some growth. What should people expect during this expo?
The theme of this expo is exploring and tapping on emerging opportunities. And Mombasa has a lot of opportunities, a lot of potentials as far as real estate is concerned. And when you come there, we'll show you what Mombasa has to offer and the whole Coast Province in general. It starts all the way from Lamu to Lunga, not only the Mombasa.
All right. Now, Mombasa has always been a hub for tourists. Are there tourists who are, or foreigners buying houses, holiday homes in Mombasa? And how is the growth of the industry?
Yes, holiday homes. Actually, Kenya has caught up with the rest of the world. Like before, like I lived in America, and everybody was working all their life, let's say in Washington, in New York, then they retire in Florida, which is the same as Mombasa. So, but here in Kenya, that culture has not been there. Everybody's been working all their life in a farm, let's say Meru, Eldoret. They live there and they die there. But now things has to change. When you have grown and you have worked so hard, at your golden ages, you need to enjoy your life. That's why you will need to get an apartment in Mombasa at the beach. You can wake up every morning. Like the foreigners know how to do it, and they have been doing it. But we've been left behind. But now, if as Kenyans and East African in general can embrace this, we retire, in a lifestyle, in a good way.
All right, say maybe I wanted to buy a holiday home in Mombasa. How much do they retail for, say, a beach house?
Okay, a beach house, there are apartments which are coming up at the moment on the beach, and we are talking about 15 million and up. Since at the beach, you know the land is very expensive, and it ends up to the house being expensive. But it doesn't mean it's unaffordable. If you want a house on your own, basically that's a lot of money. But if there's a solution where we have beach apartments which are more affordable to the normal range.
What's the price range for this apartment?
The price ranges from 10 million and up on the beach apartments, but the far away you go from the beach, the less costly it becomes. Yes.
All right. In terms of the challenges you have faced in the industry, I know MySpace Properties has now become one of the leading real estate agents in Mombasa, but to get there, what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
Okay, actually, MySpace Properties, we've been burning well. We've been sleeping on midnight for the last 3 years, trying to lift this market. And I mean, there's no professionalism in the real estate market before we came in. But right now, almost everybody is doing the things the professional way. Almost companies, they are embracing technology. Like before we came in, you would go to our office, a real estate office, and all you see is old files. And I mean, no customer service, there are no smiling staff. But right now, you see smiles all over, and people have stepped up their game.
All right. In terms of growth and employment opportunities that the construction industry is currently offering for people in Mombasa, how is it? Because sometimes we've seen a lot of cases of drug abuse in Mombasa among the youth. Are they now relating themselves to something constructive?
Yes, now with the boom in real estate in Mombasa, you've seen there are many construction coming up, and I don't think there's any one industry which employs as many people as real estate. Like once I go in the site in the morning, I meet like 100 people working, from Mama Mboga to the Mjengo guy, to the guy delivering the stone. It goes all the way to guy chongaing the stone back in Kilifi. And by the end of the day, you see we have like 1,000 people who are benefiting from one site. Since every one guy has like a family of 3. So those are 1,000 people which have been fed. And hence there are many construction sites. That's why we would encourage more investment in real estate market, more investment in infrastructure, so that we can have more development and create more employment to Kenyans.
What are some of the perks of this growth to Mombasa as a city itself? What are some of the benefits of this?
Okay, the benefit definitely, like right now, due to the growth, we have seen almost all the universities have settled in, and that means there's intellectual capital in Mombasa at the moment. And with that, we attract factories, we attract multinationals and other companies wanting to set up shop in Mombasa. Okay, and now with all that coming in and playing part in the development of economy, Mombasa soon, it will even pass Nairobi.
All right. Maybe as we wind up, what are some of the prospects? Where do you see Mombasa in terms of the construction industry? What is the way forward?
Okay, the way forward, basically what we need in Mombasa is like bypasses, as we have seen here in Nairobi, so that we open up Mombasa more. Like Kilifi has been, with the Vision 2030, has been said to be one of the resource cities, but the infrastructure is not there, and there's no much activity. We need to do something, bring factory, bring roads, bring schools, bring international companies, so that we can see the growth in that sector.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thuranira.
Thank you.
Well, there you had it from the CEO of MySpace Properties, Mr. Mwenda Thuranira, talking about the sleeping giant having residential apartments, hotels, you name it. The scramble for Mombasa is now on, and all appear keen to own a bit of the action. Let's see what Kara Wainaina has on that report.
These are just the designs that are now defining how the future of the pre-colonial island city of Mombasa will look like. And on the ground, the calm of this ancient city that saw its rule change from locals to Portuguese, from the Sultan of Oman to the British, appears disturbed by the major works that are shaping up. And in the place of car parks, the designs here refreshingly have boat parking lots.
Many people didn't know about real estate in Mombasa. Everybody thought about the beaches, the port, and that's the end of the story. But now you've seen holiday homes coming up. We have seen office blocks coming up.
The view is quickly changing from these century-old buildings, which are giving way to multi-million shillings ultra-modern buildings. And just like in Nairobi, where Upper Hill appears to be taking over as the financial services district, Nyali now is the new destination of choice for every well-endowed company. Here, construction companies, financiers, and property-selling firms have all converged to tap into what are clearly lucrative returns.
We have seen initiatives by developers, for example, like the developers of Links Plaza, trying to decongest the city, which means coming up with a new CBD, which is Nyali.
And with most locals and foreigners having a fantasy of owning a beachfront home in the country's pristine sands, home selling companies are moving to Mombasa in droves. Their displays quite mouth-watering, keen to fish home buyers. Players in the property market have planned a Homes Expo this Easter season to showcase the city's offering, an event that has attracted exhibitors from countries such as South Africa and Denmark.
Almost everybody has realized Mombasa has been a sleeping giant as far as real estate is concerned.
In the Mkomani area, another landmark, the English Point Moringa is coming up at a cost of 4 billion shillings. The 4-story complex will comprise of 90 lifestyle apartments and 8 penthouses, all designed to provide sea view of Fort Jesus across Tudor Creek. Kara Wenena, NTV.
I am now joined by Mwenda Thuranira, the CEO of MySpace Properties, to tell us how the situation in Mombasa looks like. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We've
Liz.
seen the report there by Kara, and it looks like the construction business it is booming as it is in Nairobi. How is the situation?
Okay, the situation in Mombasa right now, Mombasa has been a sleeping giant as far as real estate is concerned. We have seen so many developments. Of course, Mombasa being the capital of East Africa as far as tourism is concerned, and also being the port city, it has so many opportunities and so much potential which needs to be explored.
Okay, does that mean that the prices have also gone up?
Yes, of course it comes with that. As developments come on, of course the price appreciates. As the demand increases. As you know, we have a shortage of housing in Kenya, and Mombasa is not left out in that too. And there's a need for more houses. So, and more people are moving into the city, urban areas like Mombasa. So as people moving into the cities, the more the demand, hence the higher the prices.
When you're talking about pricing going up, by what percentages are we looking at? Maybe say for a 1-bedroom room or for a 2-bedroom house?
Within the last 2 years, within the last 2 years, it has gone up by almost 100%. Yes.
So and how are the resources coming in? Because in Nairobi we have been facing issues of water not being available, and transportation becomes a problem. What are some of the challenges that this boom is seeing?
Okay, water of course is a big challenge, although Mombasa is right at the sea. But also transport infrastructure is another big challenge. But we have seen our government has made some tremendous efforts which are still coming on. And the same challenges face us in Mombasa, just same as Nairobi. The traffic jam right now in Mombasa, it was not there. But when you talk about like Nyeri Bridge at the moment, Kibarani is full of traffic jam like any other big city. So that's where we are hoping Mombasa can expand out of the CBD, and so that less people come into the town, hence less congestion.
All right, thank you very much, Mwenda, for that. We will be getting into so much more of what is happening in Mombasa in terms of the construction industry. Let's now hand you over to NTV Center for the 1 o'clock news.